The internet as a whole is changing. As AI gets better at faking, there will be less real content and more fake AI-generated slop. The entertainment we watch will be quietly replaced with fake AI content. Do we just start consuming it, or do we unplug and refuse to watch any of it? A choice is coming. What will we choose to consume? Welcome to the Ample Flame Podcast. This is episode 14. Today we are talking about AI and everything that goes along with it. There is so much we could talk about with this subject. We could honestly go into little rabbit holes in any direction and get lost there.
True.
So we're going to try to stick to just a few topics concerning this main topic. It's kind of weird. I've seen a lot of fear around AI. I've seen a lot of mistrust and stuff like that. So I figured, why don't we talk about it? Let's do an episode about it. Not because it's what's a current issue, like bleh, I hate doing current issue topics.
Yeah, right.
But it is something that does kind of affect the realm that we exist in.
Yeah, right.
I am Ben Holler. This is my wife, Megan.
Hello.
Oh, I shouldn't call you that.
That's my in trouble name.
That's her in trouble name.
Yeah. Meg.
This is Meg.
Don't call me Megan unless I'm in
Megan
trouble.
unless she's in trouble.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I need a sip of coffee.
Yes, we have hot drinks today because it is freezing outside.
It's a balmy 49 degrees down here in the barn.
It's quite chilly.
Studio.
Yes, and I'm getting over a head cold, so that's why I have a beautiful voice today. So I'm also a little fuzzy in the brain, so if I don't make sense today, I'm sorry, but I'll try to keep up with you.
I asked about this topic. I was like, hey, what would you think about talking about this? She's like, what?
Yeah.
I have nothing to add or say about this. And so then I actually
Yeah.
How about this? How about that? And you're like, oh yeah, we could talk about this.
I do have things to say about it. I just in my fuzzy brain state at the moment, I'm like, but we'll try. All right.
So I guess just some recent news, recent headlines kind of thing. This will date this episode. But this morning, perusing various pages, I saw that Amazon had just cut 30,000 jobs because of artificial intelligence.
What are they cutting?
So they cut 9% of their office staff because they are replacing them with artificial intelligence.
Yikes.
30,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah, that is a lot of people.
That's almost the population of our entire county.
Yeah, it's about half. Yeah.
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 That's crazy.
It is. And I'm assuming that's all sectors of customer service to bookkeeping, probably.
What the article said was it was just office staff. So bookkeeping, paper pushers, anybody who had an office job, they're just cutting back. 9% of its office staff, that doesn't sound like a lot, but in a company that big, that's huge.
That's a lot. You figure, that's a lot. And it's not, we're firing and rehiring or we're having a layoff temporarily. It's, no, we're getting rid of these actual people to hand this job over to a computer.
Yeah. Those are jobs that will never reopen.
Right.
So kind of on an unrelated note, there was a conversation I was having this weekend. We went to an event this weekend. I guess I could shout them out. We're not affiliated or anything. We're not getting anything by shouting them out. It's just a cool thing. So out in Vail, North Carolina, there is it's kind of like a pioneer village.
Yeah.
It's called Hart Square, and it's this, it's just a collection of old buildings.
Yeah. Colonial period
buildings.
Yeah.
I think they have some from the early 1700s all the way up until 1893. I think it's their newest structure.
Okay.
There's this guy named Dr. Hart, and he made it his life's work to collect these old buildings. People would either donate them or, hey, I'm tearing this old homestead down. Can I donate it? Do you want it? And he would come in with a team, and they would number every board, every nail, everything, dismantle it, and they would move it and put it on his property.
Yeah.
So they have this 200-acre property with 2 lakes and a working mill and all of these are turn-of-the-century buildings. Well, once a year, they have this event where they have live demonstrators come out and demonstrate oh gosh, broom making.
Yeah, right. Blacksmithing, barrel
Blacksmithing.
making, weaving,
You name it,
quilting, harvesting
anything that
flax.
would have been used back in that time period.
Tinsmithing.
Tinsmithing.
Yeah.
And the way they have this set up is they have these buildings that were the tinsmith shop,
Yes.
or the firehouse,
Right,
or
right.
whatever, and they are filled with the equipment of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And there will usually be 1 to 2 demonstrators in that building demonstrating on that day.
Yeah.
When you get down into the more village side of it, the start of the event, they have a bluegrass band playing on almost every single front porch.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it is one of the coolest. This is the 3rd year we've gone, and it is one of the coolest things I've ever been to in my life. Like, this town feels alive. Everybody's in costume.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there's a lot of homeschool families there, and you can spot them because
right.
They all are wearing period correct handmade clothing.
Right.
And it's cool. It's really cool.
It's really fun.
So
there's fires everywhere.
There's fires. Like, they build fires in the houses in the fireplaces.
Yeah, it was cold enough this year that they had all the fires going.
Like they usually do. They usually have fires going. But this year it was very nice to walk into every house.
It was.
It's warm, and
yes,
they're cooking food in some of these houses. Like, it's really cool.
It was really cool. Nothing artificial about it.
Nothing artificial about it. I'd like to see artificial intelligence replace a real life experience like that. Like, fantastic. In fact, we've even talked about figuring out ways we could volunteer and contribute. Yeah. Just because it's a really cool event.
Yeah. So you said you were having a conversation here.
So there was someone I was talking to, and I would say they're local-ish.
Yeah.
And they were talking about jobs and, you know what? There's a Facebook data center nearby, and, there's all kinds of jobs with that place. And I was like, well, hold on. Not really. And, I looked into this. I was like, how many, because we have a Facebook data center nearby. And I was really wondering, how many people are employed there? Because there's no parking lot.
Right.
I mean, there's a very small parking lot, but there's not really a parking lot.
And you never see cars there.
Aside from a security guard.
Right.
This facility employs 3 people.
Physically.
Yeah. Physically employs 3 people.
Yeah.
And that's security guards and some sort of, groundskeeper.
Yeah.
When they were building this, because I dug it up. I dug up our local newspaper article from, gosh, when was it? It was like 2016 or something like that, when they were building this data center. And they're like, oh, there's going to be, 1,200 jobs created with the building of this place.
Yeah.
Temporary jobs. Until the building is done.
Right.
And then they flip on the switches, all the computers turn on, and all of those people leave.
Right.
So that's one of the things.
And these aren't really local jobs. These are like people who are construction companies from out of town that came in and built this thing. So it's not boosting the local economy at all.
At all. Right. Other than maybe some eateries as the construction guys got to go eat lunch.
Right.
So you have this data center, huge, massive data center, and it employs 3 people. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad, but
it is.
It's a harbinger of what's to come.
Yeah.
And so we're starting to see that the cracks are showing where this beast is traveling is starting to show.
Right.
So, I talked about Amazon. I also saw that UPS, they laid off 48,000 jobs.
Not delivery people.
Not delivery people. This is office staff.
Office staff.
And they replaced these people with artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
48,000, that's almost 50,000 people. Isn't that the population of our county?
Our county is about 62,000.
62. Yeah. So that's nearly our entire county we live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Worth of people.
Right.
Put that in perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's insane. All replaced with an artificial intelligence.
Right.
So with that, we'll just kind of riff off of that for a minute. What do you think that's going to do to people that were in that side of it? Because this is clerical work. This isn't necessarily tech jobs.
Right.
This is clerical work. This is bookkeepers. This is, I could dig up the article talking about UPS, but it was all clerical and office staff that they just eliminated. They don't need them anymore. What do you think happens to those people?
Well, so interesting fact. I was an office worker before we got married. I worked for my dad's cabinet business. And that was my job. I did data entry. I did, mild bookkeeping, customer support, answered phones, did all the filing, all of that.
You were the office manager.
I was the office manager. I ran all of the office everything. And so the idea of that's what you do, right? And the idea of artificial intelligence coming in and taking that job, not only from the place you're working at, so you get fired from where you're working at, but the idea that you have nowhere else to go because they can just hand it off to artificial intelligence. So your entire industry is getting wiped out. It's not just your job at this one place. It's your whole industry is getting wiped out by computer. That's really hard. And for a lot of people, if that's kind of what you're trained in, it's not easy to just pivot and go do something else necessarily. I mean, okay, yeah, you can go flip burgers, but if you're trying to either make a certain amount of money, that's what you're used to, or this is your skill set, to just have that ripped out from under you.
Yeah, have the rug ripped out from under you.
That's a scary thought. And I know a lot of people are facing that. We do know people in the tech industry and also banking, security industry.
We have family members in the tech industry that are directly affected by this stuff going on.
Yes, one of my family members, he technically lost his job, but then was able to get rehired in another department at the same place, which is great. That's great for him, but it's also well, how long,
Yep.
How long until you have to go do something else entirely different?
Yep.
And, friends that we have that have lost their jobs because of AI and are looking at it going, it's not that I just lost my job at this company. It's that there is no job like this available anywhere because all of the companies are handing it over to AI. I get frustrated about this because I understand the need to be efficient as a business. I do, because, I was a bookkeeper. So it was okay, you gotta try to get your profit margin steady, right? So I understand that. But it's also, I get frustrated by taking the humanness out of it. And so when your profit margin becomes the only importance, and these big companies, they don't care. And there's fire, 30, 40, 50,000 people.
Zorg.
Yeah, right. Right. Fire 1 million.
We could fire half a million. He's fire 1 million.
Right? Because all they care about is the profit margin. Yeah. And I don't know. I just get frustrated and irritated by that because these are people's lives that you're destroying.
All they see on a page is the numbers.
Yeah, right.
They don't. It's the thing I hated about being in the corporate world, because even though I was blue collar, it's still giant corporations that I was working for, and at the end of the day, you're just a number.
Right.
And every time I got to work and I punched in my employee number to clock in, it was a weird feeling. It's all I am is a number, and there's a million numbers behind me. If I die today, they'll have me replaced. It's just a hard feeling. So where do we go from here?
Yeah. As far as jobs. So we were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier. And we actually talk about this whenever AI comes up in the news or whatever. And so I think what's important is if you work in an industry that could be affected by AI, and I think at this point we could assume that just about every industry could be affected by AI.
I think every industry will be affected.
I think it's important to start learning different skill sets, hands-on physical skill sets, where an AI could not easily come in and take it over. So for example, if you're in data entry and bookkeeping and that kind of thing, start learning a physical skill, I don't know, I'm just gonna say baking. Because you can learn to bake and you can take that to a bakery, or you could start your own bakery. This is a physical skill that is not going to be easily taken over by AI. It's not going to
go away. Yeah.
People always need to eat, and AI can't easily take that over. Not in a small setting,
Yep.
Or anything, sewing or whatever. Just find. I'm thinking of female skills, obviously, because I'm a woman. Or welding or plumbing or, all these things that are physical, on location kind of things, real in the flesh skills, so that you have it as a backup when your job
Just
goes
dries
kaput.
up and
and gets handed over to a computer entity.
yep. Ooh, you just called it an entity.
I know, I did. It's a hot word, but
see, like I said at the beginning, we could go down any number of rabbit holes.
go down any number of rabbit holes.
Yeah, that's an entirely different episode.
Yeah.
So if you get replaced, is that going to require a shift in lifestyle? That's really what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, because I mean, the first thing is your wages are going to change.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just
immediate change in lifestyle.
Right.
I know when I was in a machine shop, CNC machines were very much a part of that realm. I was in a manual machine shop.
Mm-hmm.
Those are getting fewer and fewer and fewer, but there is still a niche for them.
Right.
Niche.
Yeah.
I always said niche, and people have...
I thought it was niche.
It's niche. That's how I always heard it.
Oh.
We'll get a flame war going in the comments.
Oh, well.
It's niche.
It
no,
might
it's
be
niche.
I don't know.
Anyways, that was what we said. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rabbit hole. So the CNC controlled lathes and mills and, various pieces of equipment were always getting better and better and better. And the software to run them was getting better and better and better. And the last time I was in a machine shop, I saw some incredible stuff getting cranked out on a CNC. It was a lathe with live tooling, so it can do its own millwork and basically replaces two different machines and two different machinists with one machine.
Yeah. And no machinists.
Basically, you just need a button pusher. You just need someone to put the material in the machine. A lot of these machines now, you don't even have to have a material handler guy.
Right, they'll pick it up.
It's just a bar of metal rolls off the rack, gets fed into the machine by another machine, and then the CNC just goes to work cranking out parts.
Right.
The realm I was in was more of a job shop, onesies, twosies kind of parts. And when you're in a mass factory environment, yeah, absolutely, you're going to get replaced by an AI.
Right.
My entire machinist career has been in manual machine shops. And that's not going away.
Right.
Like there are some aspects that can be replaced by machines. But when you're fixing stuff and picking up broken stuff and, that kind of stuff, I'm sure eventually they might develop AI and CNC relations that can do that work, but I don't know. What I see is a lot of the blue collar stuff's not going to go away for a very long time.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't see a robot crawling under a house and fixing a plumbing leak.
Right.
In the middle of winter.
Right.
Like I don't see it.
No, that's not happening. And you know, people like construction, like building houses, that kind of thing. Like there's still people that need to be involved in that, like actual humans.
Well, I see like, every now and then I'll run across a video where it's a full-on 3D printer that you feed concrete to and it prints a house.
Okay.
Like it's this massive, you build these 4 columns around your house site and then you basically build a cement plant next to it.
Yeah.
And all of the ingredients get fed into it, add water, and it just scoots around and pours the walls inch by inch by inch until you've got a 2 or 3 story building that's made completely out of concrete.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I mean, I bet it is, but that's going to be few and far between.
Yeah.
Like the expenses for that are astronomical.
I mean, the expense of that will come down eventually.
It will.
As the technology gets there and, it can be like, remember when we shipped stuff with our pods?
Yeah.
And they pull up with a truck, they get close to where you want it, and then the back of the truck lifts up, grabs the pod, drives it to where you want it, sets it down, drives off of the box, and then climbs back on the truck and leaves.
Yeah, it's super weird.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's one of those, as the technology improves, the price comes down. And basically, that's probably ancient technology. And now you can, get on your phone and have your pod shipped to your house with all of your storage items.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing with stuff like 3D printing a house. Eventually, it's going to be like, yeah, sure, the service is where you pay.
Yeah.
But the technology is so cheap.
Yes. But you're still going to need people to like run your electric and do your plumbing and install your toilets and put your cabinets in. And, like there still has to be people involved. So I'm sure that there are certain areas that are still going to be secure for a very long time. But you had asked, like, how does that change people's living?
Yeah, shift in lifestyle.
Shift in lifestyle. Yeah. Well, like I said, your wages are going to probably decrease or change. You're going to have a shift in wages. So I think something I think about is like, okay, well, that's kind of part of why we try to teach our kids all kinds of like different skills. And a lot of those are like self-sufficiency skills just because, well, you never know what's going to happen, and some of those are like, well, you never know if like your spouse is going to get in a car wreck and you have to like take care of your household. You know what I mean?
Disaster strikes and all of a sudden roles have changed.
Right. So we've tried to teach our kids that, and also like learn this ourselves, And so I think that kind of applies in a situation where your job could disappear because of artificial intelligence and like job completely, not just where you worked, but I mean,
your entire industry.
Your industry disappears. So I think it's always important to keep learning skills so that you don't have to have as many inputs financially. So like we've talked about in previous episodes, like learning to cook. Well, if you can learn to cook, that means you're not having to buy out food as much, which means your expense for that goes down, which means if you do have a radical shift in your wages, then you're not having to worry about food as much because you know how to cook with, rice and beans and some chicken kind of thing.
Yep.
On sale chicken. Learning how to mend your clothing so that it will last longer and so that you don't have to have that input as much. Like just planning for these things so that if you do lose your job, you have a little bit of breathing room in between. Or, I mean, it's not a big deal anyways, because you're like, whatever. I know how to do all these things that I can take care of myself with, or like, raising animals like we do, stuff like that. Just all these skills that I think are important to learn.
I'll take this one. I know people that have been affected by the change in basically the tech industry. And they have pivoted and they are doing other things now. But in their 40s, they have discovered that they don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
They've completely lived their life for their job. And now they're playing catch up.
Right.
Now they're having to learn the basics. They can't even go out and build a chicken coop because they don't have the slightest clue how to build something. It would be like, how we let our kids play with Legos?
Yeah.
And so just right out the gate, they have a grasp on how to build stuff.
Right.
Like you can at least stack it up.
Yeah.
Like if you hand them a whole bunch of cinder blocks, they can build a fort.
Yes.
Basic understanding of building.
Right.
These people don't even have a basic understanding of building because instead of playing with Legos, they were plugged into a screen.
Right.
And so, they were very good at using a screen, the tech
industry. Right.
But now that they are no longer employed in that industry, they've found other stuff to do. And they're surviving.
Yeah.
They're doing other stuff, but they're having to relearn life.
Yeah, right.
And they're starting over in their 40s.
Yes.
It's very shocking to see. Not to say they can't do it. They're doing all right. They're just starting over.
Yeah.
So very much there's a change in lifestyle that will happen.
Because I've just thought of this. Do you think we will see more homesteading / like back to the land movements because of this?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm curious if this will be like a shift.
I would be curious too. The push that we've just had over the past 5 years for homesteading, longer than that actually. The homesteading movement really started probably 10 years ago. Like
the new wave of homesteading.
Yeah.
I mean, this comes every like other generation, but
like, our generation, it was the hippies, the back to the landers.
Yeah.
Well, it's not our generation, but before our generation. You heard what I meant.
Yeah.
And now it's the homesteaders.
Right.
We're gonna get some chickens and grow a garden. And all this. So it's just this is the new wave of it. I almost think that doesn't do justice to what the movement actually is. It's people wanting to get closer to their food and get closer to nature and not in a hippy dippy sort of way.
Right. But just like chill out and not be so oppressed by the culture, I guess. Yeah. In a way. Yeah. Just like kind of step away and chill out.
Slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we kind of beat the shift in lifestyle to death a little bit.
I'm good at that.
And we've talked a little bit about the skills and,
Yeah.
Versus life skills, blue collar trades and things like that. There's a lot of it that I don't think will ever go away.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, you see a robot crawling under a house
to fix a pipe,
a flooded crawl space to fix a busted line.
Right.
Okay. What we consume can consume us.
Oh yeah.
And what I mean by that, I'm going to try to bring it back around to kind of the realm that we exist in. Meg does not consume as much media as I do.
You're right. I would say it's always been that way, but
actually for a long time you were the one consuming and I just had my head in work. I guess if you count Facebook, like being on Facebook. Yeah, you were always on Facebook, always on Instagram, pushing your soap business and stuff like that. Right. Always plugged in, and I wasn't. And we've flip-flopped now. You're the one that does the editing for our vlog.
Right.
You do the posting and all that stuff, the more tech side of it.
Yeah.
And I'm the one walking around with the camera. It's kind of our teamwork.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
But what has happened is burnout's not the right word.
Okay.
Maybe sick of.
Okay.
Sick of being plugged into a screen.
Yes.
Because that's your job. When you're not editing and you're not having to post and read comments,
don't want to
you're
be on
like,
the screen.
Forget this. I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of flip-flopped.
Yeah.
And so because I'm not in front of a screen, I tend to veg out more. We've talked about this. Like it is a struggle that I'm currently dealing with.
Right.
Well, with that, because I'm consuming more media than you're basically, aside from doing the vlog, you're kind of living a nice Luddite lifestyle. I
am. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. I have a couple emails I subscribe to that I'll get every now and then that kind of usually touch on, current events or whatever. But other than that, don't care. Don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't care.
It's been interesting because
it's been wonderful.
Used to be, if it was on social media, you'd heard about it. And as social media became more and more controlled and contrived, because I've always kind of been in the not so public spaces. I'm a conspiracy hole nut.
Yeah,
so
you are.
I would come home, and if I'd read something or heard something, listening to late night radio and stuff like that, I would tell you about it. We'd talk about it. And is that true? And then while I'm at work, you'd do some research and you'd find stuff. And then you went down the rabbit hole and just, this is over 20 years.
Right.
Going back and forth doing this.
Yeah.
Well, the current swing we are in right now is I learned something and I tell you about it and you're like, la, 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 don't tell me.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm just tired of the drama.
Don't care and don't feel like letting it occupy space.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which
there's been
I
so much that I'm like, this is just taking my peace and taking brain power and taking time away from doing the things that are more important, like loving my kids and baking bread and, reading books. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. This is not necessary for my actual humanity.
So with all of the consumption comes, there's a lot of junk out there.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of what I've seen in the past, probably year, is as the AI
grows stronger,
as it gets cheaper.
Yeah.
As it gets cheaper, more and more people are using it. You always got to remember that one rule: if something's free, you're the product.
Yeah.
If someone says, "Hey, give us your email and you can have this free thing," why do you want my email?
Because they're selling your data.
This
right.
Well, the more you look into it, your data is so much more valuable than you realize. Like, that's currency.
Yeah.
People's data is currency. There's a whole realm in the tech industry that is just data sales and data broking. And we are traded like commodities. Our digital selves are traded as commodities.
Yeah.
You're
going to get lost in the weeds. Come back around. Come back around.
Anyways, we'll just stick on the surface. We'll just talk about the
The AI.
The AI, the low-hanging fruit, if you will. So there's a lot of fake videos that have been going around the internet.
Right.
Probably 2 years ago was when I really started noticing, because I'd see memes about it. It would be screenshots of Facebook.
Yeah.
And it would be boomers losing their minds because of some AI-generated photo that looks fake. Like, it just looks so fake. And you'd see all the old boomers in there going nuts, going, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I can't believe someone could build this. And it's fake. And the reason it became memeable is because if these people are believing that these fake images are real, they will be duped no matter what. They can be duped super easily. And so that has always stuck with me, is like, I really hope there's not grandmas out there getting completely duped by fake images. Well, here we are a year and a half later, and now it's video.
Right.
And the videos have gotten so good that it's actually shocking when you realize that's fake.
Well, and it's not just grandmas anymore. I mean, everybody's getting
No, it's
duped.
everybody.
Right.
Everybody's being deceived.
Right.
And I mean everybody.
Right.
To the point where these AI videos are getting so good, it actually calls into question whether anything is real.
Right.
So let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
What happens when we get to the point where you can't believe your own two lying eyes?
That is a really good question, because this is something I've noticed also, myself personally, when I am on the internet, but then also we've had this discussion between you and me, and between our kids as well. Our kids aren't really on the internet, but sometimes we'll have a video, be like, oh, look at this. And then they'll be like, that's not real. And you and I will be like, really? Are you sure? And then they're like, yeah, look at this like shadow or whatever. And we're like, oh, you're right. Good for spotting that. But yeah, so we do contemplate this. And this is a struggle because like my attitude is like, don't be on the internet at all. Like the discussion we have is like, unless we personally saw it ourselves with our actual eyeballs. In person. We're not going to believe anything, which is a really sad, cynical way to be.
It is.
But I also think we've gotten to an age where we really have to protect our minds and protect what we believe. Because it's pretty true that this can be used for nefarious purposes to get people to believe something or think something or, swing a certain way about, a topic. And I don't know, I think it's just a really dangerous place to find ourselves in culture in general, is to be at a point where we can look at something and go, I don't know. I mean, it looks really real. It sounds really real.
I'm going to touch on something that, I don't know, might ruffle some feathers. So I don't know if anybody follows everything that's been going on. I don't know how you could not hear something about it. Charlie Kirk. Okay. So I'm not going to venture too far into this, but either side of it, what if that whole event was AI fake? Or on the other side of it, the other direction, what if all of a sudden, here's Charlie Kirk making public videos again, but they're all fake?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So you see the danger here.
Right.
When you get into cult of personality territory and something horrific happens, like what happened to Charlie Kirk, if you have people who feel strongly enough, then they will willingly accept an AI fake of that person just so they feel better. They feel like, oh, no, that person's still
Nothing
here.
actually happened.
So you see what I mean?
Yeah. And I think a danger, too, is because of AI and being able to fake personalities, things could be made that appear as like past videos of this person saying a particular thing that could like change people's minds and make people think a certain way. Yeah. I see the danger in that as well, of taking, like you said, cult of personality type people and how that can be used one way or another. Yeah. Dangerously. Yeah. And that is something we definitely think about and we consider. And, we do have this conversation with our kids too about things like this, of like, you're going into a world that is going to be half real and half not, or maybe all fake online.
Mm-hmm.
So like tread wisely and be discerning.
Yep.
And be careful about it, and to not just like, it's kind of like, we used to be told as kids, and sometimes we'll tell this to our kids, of like, oh, if everybody jumped off a bridge, would you follow? And now it's kind of like, well, if everybody believed that video, do you? Kind of the same mentality of like, you got to be careful to not follow a crowd just because somebody's like, well, there's a video about it.
Yep.
Well, we don't know if that's real or not.
Well, I think the struggle I've had too is, gosh, even just 2 years ago, you could spot an AI video a mile away.
Yeah, right.
Because all of the voiceover sounds like our phones.
Right.
Like a really cheap imitation of a human voice.
Yeah.
And now I've heard podcasts that I listen to, they will go use one of these AI programs and they'll just...
For like their ads or whatever.
No, not even. There was one I heard, and he was using one of his friends to say just snarky off-color stuff.
Okay.
Nothing terrible, but just stuff that the other person would never say.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, I got my friend over here, and he's saying blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wow.
And then they get to the end, and it's like, man, I can't believe he just said all of this stuff. And then they finally cued in. They're like, yeah, actually, this is AI. You can tell it to say anything you want in someone's voice. Yeah. You don't have to provide anything. The AI can go scrub the internet, find out all it needs to know about that person's voice or their inflection when they talk. It sounds like the real person talking, saying these things.
This is how a lot of people get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, this is slander. And like, could be, this is how a lot of like legal problems get started because somebody could be malicious and go, take a soundbite from somebody and cause drama and problems. And then like, how do you fight that when the AI looks so good? Yeah, I don't like it. This bothers me a lot. Okay, well, so we've talked about the danger of the internet AI and stuff like that, and messed up relationships and all that kind of stuff. So how do we combat this in real life?
Good job, you're bringing it back around.
I'm trying.
You had actually said something when we were talking about this, and I forgot to write it down.
Yeah.
So one of the ways to combat this is you have to really lean on flesh and blood relationships.
Yeah, real life.
Like you really do. If you are worried about all of this stuff, AI taking your job, AI taking your family's job, AI taking everything, just remember there are still flesh and blood people out there.
Right. Well, people are all you have left in the end.
Yeah. Like, think of everything changing, everything moving to artificial intelligence, everything, even fast food is done by artificial intelligence. At the end of the day, there are still people out there that need you and you need them. You have to look for those people and you have to hold on to those people.
Right. And this is like cultivating it now.
Yep. Not
in the end when you're lonely and you've lost everything.
I've lost my job. I've lost coworkers and all of this. No, you start now. You start building relationships. Coming from a generation that we didn't build a lot of relationships. Millennials were I would say the last of the kids that played outside. Yeah. We did play outside until the streetlights came on. Right. And the generation after us didn't. They stayed inside in front of a screen. And, here we are. I think our kids span from Gen Z all the way to whatever Gen Alpha or whatever random made up generational name they have for kids these days.
That's right. We have early 2000s kids to 20s kids.
Yep. Man, we've been having kids a long time.
We have, yeah.
Got a whole mess of kids.
I know. Span a wide
span of 2 decades. That's right. We've been having kids for 2 decades.
Oh my gosh, that makes me feel old.
Goodness. All right.
But yeah, tech is like a huge thing for our children's lives.
Yep.
And we've tried to keep that at a minimum because, like we said, people are the most important thing.
Yep.
And we don't want them. Gosh, I've heard stories of people like having romantic relationships with AI.
Gosh, that's a problem. I wish I'd written down the article. There's an article I read about this the other day.
Okay.
There's actually an artificial intelligence induced psychosis that is becoming a problem.
Really?
Yeah. Like straight up induced psychosis, because what's happening is rather than go see a therapist, people are going to AI, one of these chatbots, and they're spilling their heart and soul out to this computer.
Right.
Because it feeds them.
Yes,
it's algorithmically
it only tells
driven.
you what you want to hear.
And it's feeding into what they want to hear rather than giving life advice.
Right.
The way a therapist would.
Right.
Or a therapist is supposed to.
Yeah, right.
And so what's happening is people are like ending themselves because the AI is just feeding into them.
Oh my goodness.
People are going into a psychosis because they're just being fed, but in the wrong way.
Yes, right.
Yeah, this was a kind of creepy article I read the other day, and it was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is where we're at.
Yeah.
And so rather than go to therapy or go to church, like try going to church, try interacting with other people.
Yeah.
Instead of any of that, no, I'm going to get on this chatbot and anyways.
Right. Yeah. Well, because people aren't having real flesh and blood relationships.
Yep.
Yeah. Ugh.
So that's really the number one way you can combat this. Yeah, you might lose a job if you're in one of these industries that is going to get replaced.
Right.
But AI will not replace flesh and blood.
No, it won't.
You know, I was listening to an interview with Tim Mackey today.
Yeah.
I'd taken the boys to work, so I had a half an hour drive, and it was like, well, I'll listen to this podcast. And Tim Mackey, for those who don't know, he's who runs the Bible Project.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very interesting podcast.
Yeah. So their organization just breaks down the Bible and kind of explains it and tries to make it make sense for the layperson.
it makes it very digestible.
Yes.
If you're trying to reach somebody,
right,
you can probably find a video or a podcast from the Bible Project that can reach people.
Yeah.
It makes it very easily digestible.
Yes.
We've really enjoyed the Bible Project.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah. Anytime awesome. I pull one up, the kids will be like, "Oh, what are you watching now?"
So, I had actually written down this topic that we're talking about today. I had written this down last week sometime. We had some friends over, and it just popped into my head. I grabbed my notepad, jotted down some stuff, stuck it in my pocket, and forgot about it for a week. Well, I listened to this episode knowing we were going to sit down and talk about this today.
Okay.
And lo and behold, what's Tim Mackey talking about? But he's talking about artificial intelligence and the dangers of artificial intelligence. And he basically kind of talks a lot about what we've just talked about, and the various things. But he came at it from a Bible standpoint. Like, what do we do as Christians with this? You know, you said in the beginning, entity. We don't know who's behind these artificial intelligences. There have been clips of people talking to these chatbots, and they say that they are spirits. Is it just algorithmically driven
answers? Yeah, right.
Or is that legit?
Right. We don't know.
No telling.
Yeah.
But all I know is creepy factors like 211.
Right, for sure.
But his point was, so the dangers of AI. Okay, so if people have Bible questions and they start asking the AI, what's the AI going to do? Well, the AI is going to do what it does, and it's going to go all over the internet, and it's going to read every bit of documentation out there and give you an answer. That's how they work. And so kind of his perspective is, he said, it's my goal to put enough of this easily digestible Bible information out there, gospel knowledge, to where when these AIs are asked a question about Christianity, they can answer correctly. And he said, rather than fear these AIs as something that is taking our jobs and destroying society, maybe it's a tool for good. Maybe it's a tool that can actually reach people that are basically unreachable.
Right.
And he said that, and it was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Like all of this doom and gloom that we've talked about, and I've missed this entire side of it.
Yeah.
Like, this is how they work. They do. They
Scrub the internet.
Scrub the internet and glean the information they need, and then they spit it out for you.
Scour the internet. I
Scour.
guess. Yeah.
Scrub. Scrub's different.
Scrub is getting
Scrub
rid
is
of it.
erasing.
Yeah.
Scouring is.
I mean, it's still scrubbing, but if you're going from a cleaning standpoint,
they're crawling all over the internet.
Yes.
Gleaning
gathering
information.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty profound.
Yeah, that's a really great way to look at it.
Way to go, Tim Mackey.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, way
so
to
smart.
go. Like, see the good in the middle of all this bad.
Yeah.
Like,
that's just
right?
like Tim Mackey to do
That's
that.
just like Tim Mackey.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's great. I love that. And that's such a good point. And that's kind of like, I don't know, beating them at their own game.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
sort
for
of.
real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So do you remember the podcast that was on, in case anybody wants to go look at it?
I don't know the particular episode. It was an episode of Ring Them Bells.
Okay.
Okay. User beware, because they go into a lot of darker subjects.
Oh, do they? I've never listened.
It's a Christian show. You can find them on YouTube.
So maybe look up Ring Them Bells Tim Mackey, and you'll probably find it.
I mean, it had a bunch. It was Michael Heiser. It was like an hour and a half long episode.
Big thing. Okay.
Michael Heiser, Tim Mackey, like a whole bunch of names.
Yeah.
It was a really, really good episode.
Yeah. Cool. But, yeah, I think it's actually, I mean, now that we're talking about that, I think it's important for the Christian realm to kind of address this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a thing. I mean, just from the perspective, like you touched on a little bit, of people are going to the AI to find like life answers like deep life answers for themselves. And if they're not being fed good things to where they're ending themselves, they're ending their lives, well, that's a danger. And I think that needs to be addressed. I don't have the answer for everything, but I think it's definitely worth talking about. Yeah. All right. I feel like we talked about a lot today.
You didn't think we were going to be able to talk this long on AI, did you?
I did not, because my general thought is like, I don't like it. I don't want to use it at the end. That was 30 seconds.
The only thing that you are sure on about AI is you're not going to participate.
I'm not going to participate.
It's kind of like us and short videos.
Yeah,
like, we're not going to participate.
Right. I mean, and we've had people make arguments of like, oh, you should use it for this and that. And I'm sure there are very good areas where it can be helpful. But I don't like it and I don't want to use it.
Yep.
And I mean, like you said earlier, I am kind of a Luddite. I'm just like, less tech the better. Yeah. The less tech the better. I'm happy with my like knitting and books.
Circle all the way back around to where we started, being troglodytes and all that. So the lack of tech in our household and the encouraging our boys to learn to work with their hands. So Brett has been playing around with cooperage.
Yes.
That's making barrels for anybody who doesn't know. Wooden barrels, like the big wine barrels you see that are cut in half and they're planters in someone's flower bed.
They cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, you go to the little micro bar or microbrewery and their tables are just wine barrels with a top,
slab of wood on them.
Like those types of barrels,
like legit wine barrels.
So someone who makes those barrels is a cooper, and Brett has been wanting to learn how to make barrels, and so he's been playing around with it. And not just like, hey, let's go buy some lumber. No, I'm going to take this tree that blew down last year in the hurricane. It's a white oak. I'm going to cut it into staves, and we're going to air dry the staves for 8 months.
Right.
Now we're going to take the staves and we're going to cut them down into what's the term for your barrel?
All of your
barrel staves.
Yeah.
Like he's doing it from scratch, like from very scratch, starting from tree trunk to finished barrel.
Right.
Like he's doing the whole thing.
He is.
So we walked.
Banging out the metal.
Yeah, banging out the metal, making the rings, like all of it. Yeah, we walked around this pioneer village, Hart Square, and we made it down to the coopering shed. And the two guys that were in there were not the normal guys that are in there.
Right.
They were just filling in because I guess they needed a place to stand.
Yeah.
They're younger dudes. I would put them mid-20s.
Yeah, probably.
But we've seen them there. Last year, they were running the pit saw.
Yeah.
And they were very knowledgeable about that.
Not so much the cooperage.
Not so much the cooperage. But we walk over there and Brett starts asking questions and they don't know.
Yeah.
So obviously that wasn't their base of operations.
Forte, that's right.
Well, then Brett starts picking up the tools and he's like, oh, this is a, antique blah, blah, blah. This was made for doing this part of the barrel.
Right.
And this tool over here was for this part. And their mouths are just dropping farther and farther open. And finally, at one point, they left.
Yeah.
Brett's over there on their shave horse with a piece of wood showing kids how to use a spoke shave.
It was hilarious.
It was like, man,
leave it to my kid.
Like, this is where we should be. We should volunteer and we could get all dressed up. And
right.
Brett can be over there making barrels.
That's right.
I know what I would do. They don't have like a hog butchering area.
You could kill pigs. Something.
I don't know. That's one of those general public things that might not
fly.
Yeah.
Well, but no artificial intelligence there. Yeah.
Off in the weeds.
That's right.
All right. So we still got more to talk about. We're going to talk about deep fakes.
Okay. That will be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. All right. So if you want to hear more, hop over to our after show. We do an after show after this episode. It'll be over on Patreon. If you're interested in listening to the after show, it's usually about a half an hour more. That's what we try to keep it at. And we'll talk about stuff that we don't usually talk about on the public show. Yeah. So it's fun. It's kind of more of the same. Yeah. So
see you there.
Hop on over there. Should I give the web address?
Yeah, you can.
It's patreon.com/ampliflame. Every time. You know what? I'm going to hand it over to you. So tell the kind people where they can go for the after show.
You can go to patreon.com/ampliflame. You cracked me up. He can't remember any.
I'm on the spot. Every I need to write notes, like web addresses. I'll say it backwards.
It's also in the description of the show notes.
Do you want me to just say that?
I'll just say that
it's
too.
Just in the description.
That's right.
All right, folks. It's in the description.
Oh, man. This is why I do the tech side of it.
This is why she does the tech side of it. Give me a hammer.
That's right.
I'm a lot better with a hammer and nails.
Hammer and a camera. Oh, Lordy. Okay.
All right.
Anyways.
That's going to do it for this episode.
All right.
Catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.